The Dodgers received shocking news that has sent shockwaves throughout the organization and left fans, analysts, and teammates in a state of serious concern. Following the controversial incident from yesterday's game where the Mariners' second baseman deliberately collided with Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese superstar will be unavailable to play in Game 3 of the series against Seattle. However, the real bombshell came when manager Dave Roberts held an impromptu press conference this morning to reveal disturbing details about the extent of Ohtani's injuries from the dirty play incident. Roberts' injury update has shocked the baseball world and raised serious questions about whether the collision caused more damage than initially apparent. What exactly did Roberts reveal about Ohtani's condition? How serious are the injuries sustained from the Mariners player's dirty shot? And when will Ohtani be able to return to action for the Dodgers? The morning began with routine preparations for Game 3 of the Mariners series. The Dodgers were scheduled to take on Seattle in what was expected to be another competitive matchup between the two West Coast rivals. However, before the team could begin their pre-game routine, manager Dave Roberts called an emergency press conference in the main clubhouse conference room. When reporters arrived and saw Roberts' serious expression and the presence of the Dodgers' medical staff behind him, it became immediately clear that something significant had occurred overnight. Roberts took his seat at the podium and began by addressing the status of Shohei Ohtani's availability for today's game. "I regret to inform you that Shohei Ohtani will not be available to play in today's game against the Mariners," Roberts began, his voice carrying obvious disappointment and concern. "After a thorough medical evaluation last night and again this morning, we have determined that it is in Shohei's best interest to rest and allow his body to recover from the injuries he sustained during yesterday's incident." The initial announcement that Ohtani would miss Game 3 was not entirely surprising given the severity of the collision. However, Roberts' next statement sent shockwaves through the press room and prompted immediate gasps from reporters gathered to hear the update. "Upon further examination by our medical team," Roberts continued, "we have discovered that Shohei has sustained more significant injuries than were initially apparent on the field. He is suffering from a severe bruise to his left shoulder, possible ligament strain in his left knee, and significant impact trauma to his lower back and ribs." The list of injuries that Roberts revealed was far more extensive than had been reported following yesterday's game. Reporters immediately began frantically taking notes and formulating follow-up questions. The shoulder injury, knee strain, and back trauma all represented serious concerns that could potentially impact Ohtani's availability for multiple games, not just today's matchup against the Mariners. Roberts elaborated further on each injury, providing medical details that demonstrated the severity of the collision's impact on Ohtani's body. The manager explained that the shoulder injury was particularly concerning because it involved the same shoulder that Ohtani uses for his throwing mechanics as a pitcher. Any injury to that area could potentially compromise his ability to pitch at full effectiveness. "The shoulder bruising is extensive," Roberts stated. "While our initial X-rays and imaging did not reveal any fractures or serious structural damage, the soft tissue trauma is significant. We are concerned about how this impacts his ability to throw at maximum velocity and with the precision he requires for pitching." The knee strain discovery was also alarming, Roberts explained. The manager noted that Ohtani had experienced some swelling in the knee overnight, suggesting that the impact of the collision had affected the joint more severely than the immediate post-game evaluation had indicated. Roberts stated that the medical team wanted to conduct additional imaging to rule out ligament damage or other structural injuries. "The knee is particularly concerning because Shohei uses his lower body extensively in both his batting stance and his pitching mechanics," Roberts explained. "Any limitation in knee mobility or stability could impact his performance in both aspects of his two-way role." Perhaps most alarming was Roberts' description of the back and rib trauma. The manager stated that Ohtani was experiencing significant pain in his lower back and along his ribcage following the collision. Roberts explained that while no fractures had been detected, the impact trauma was substantial enough to warrant careful monitoring and rest. "Shohei is in considerable discomfort this morning," Roberts said candidly. "He attempted to participate in light stretching and mobility work earlier today, but the pain level indicated that he needs rest rather than activity. We are going to be cautious with his recovery and will not rush him back into action." When asked for a timeline regarding Ohtani's potential return to play, Roberts was deliberately vague. The manager stated that the team would be taking a day-by-day approach to Ohtani's recovery and that no specific date had been established for his return. Roberts emphasized that the decision to keep Ohtani out would be based entirely on his medical condition and his readiness to perform at full capacity. "We are not going to put Shohei back on the field until he is 100% ready," Roberts stated firmly. "This is not just about today's game against the Mariners. We are thinking about his long-term health and his ability to help this team for the remainder of the season and beyond. A few days of rest now could prevent weeks or months of injury complications later." Roberts also addressed the broader context of the collision and its impact on the team. The manager reiterated his frustration with the Mariners' players' conduct and stated that he hoped MLB would impose significant disciplinary action. Roberts emphasized that dirty play of that nature had no place in professional baseball and that the league needed to send a clear message that such behavior would not be tolerated. "What happened yesterday was unacceptable," Roberts said with obvious emotion. "That player deliberately targeted Shohei with clear intent to cause harm. The fact that this resulted in serious injuries to one of our best players makes this even more egregious. I have full confidence that MLB will review the footage and impose appropriate discipline." The Dodgers medical director was then given the opportunity to provide additional technical details about Ohtani's injuries. The medical director explained that the team had conducted comprehensive imaging and physical examinations to assess the full extent of the collision's impact. "Mr. Ohtani sustained a significant blunt force trauma incident," the medical director stated in clinical terms. "The impact affected multiple areas of his body simultaneously. While we are relieved that preliminary imaging has not revealed fractures or major structural damage, the soft tissue injury is substantial and will require time to heal properly." The medical director emphasized that swelling and inflammation would likely continue for the next 24 to 48 hours, during which time the severity of the injuries would become clearer. The director stated that the medical team would be conducting follow-up imaging in 48 hours to reassess Ohtani's condition and determine a more specific timeline for his return. Shohei Ohtani himself did not appear at the press conference but released a brief written statement expressing his disappointment about missing today's game. In the statement, Ohtani acknowledged that he was experiencing significant pain and discomfort from the collision but expressed confidence in the Dodgers medical team and their approach to his recovery. "I am disappointed that I cannot play in today's game against the Mariners," Ohtani's statement read through an interpreter. "However, I understand that the medical team's priority is my long-term health and my ability to continue contributing to this team. I am committed to following their recommendations and will return to the field when I am fully healed and ready to perform at my highest level." Freddie Freeman addressed the media regarding Ohtani's absence from today's lineup. Freeman expressed concern about his teammates' injuries and frustration with the incident that caused them. Freeman stated that the team would need to find ways to win without Ohtani in the lineup but that everyone's primary focus was on his recovery. "Shohei is one of the greatest players in baseball," Freeman said. "Losing him from the lineup is a huge blow, not just for us but for the entire league. That said, his health has to come first. We will find a way to win today, and Shohei will be back when he is ready." The Dodgers lineup for Game 3 against the Mariners has been adjusted to accommodate Ohtani's absence. The team announced that Mookie Betts would be moving to the designated hitter role, with Chris Martin taking over Betts' position in right field. This lineup change represents a significant alteration to the team's offensive strategy and weakens the Dodgers' overall lineup without their superstar. Baseball analysts and commentators have expressed serious concern about the potential long-term ramifications of Ohtani's injuries. Several experts have noted that shoulder, knee, and back injuries can have lasting effects on a player's performance, particularly for someone who relies on both upper body strength for pitching and lower body mechanics for hitting. The incident has reignited discussions about player safety and the need for stricter enforcement of conduct standards in Major League Baseball. Several player representatives have called for MLB to implement harsher penalties for dirty play, including multi-game suspensions and substantial fines to deter future incidents of this nature. The Mariners organization has released a statement expressing regret about the incident and stating their commitment to maintaining professional standards. The statement indicated that the organization would be conducting a thorough review of the player's conduct and would address the matter internally. MLB has announced that it is conducting a comprehensive review of the incident and is expected to make a decision regarding potential additional disciplinary action against the Mariners' second baseman within the next 24 to 48 hours. Sources close to the investigation suggest that a multi-game suspension is likely to be imposed. Dodgers fans have expressed outrage and concern on social media following the revelation of Ohtani's extensive injuries. Many fans have called for MLB to impose severe punishment on the Mariners player and have expressed support for Ohtani during his recovery process. The hashtag #GetWellSoonOhtani has been trending on social media platforms throughout the morning. The Dodgers organization has stated that they will prioritize Ohtani's health and recovery above all other considerations. Team ownership and the front office have made it clear that no playoff game or regular season matchup is worth risking Ohtani's long-term health and career trajectory. As Game 3 of the Mariners series approaches, the Dodgers will attempt to maintain their position in the standings without their superstar in the lineup. However, the primary focus of the organization remains on Ohtani's recovery and his eventual return to full strength. Thank you for watching. This shocking injury update has revealed the serious physical toll that the Mariners player's dirty play took on Shohei Ohtani. Please share your thoughts in the comments section about Ohtani's injuries and his recovery timeline. Do you believe MLB should impose a suspension on the Mariners player? What are your expectations for the Dodgers without Ohtani in today's lineup? Subscribe to our channel for more interesting and up-to-date information about Shohei Ohtani's recovery and all the latest developments in Major League Baseball.